It's like,
Long time no see.
what's up? Great growth day, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to Doing Life with the Word. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us this morning. What's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling?
Doing well, man. Long time, man. 5+ months.
Was it that long?
Yeah, it was before Nate's wedding.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
November.
Yeah, Nate got married November 11th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
which is a great segue, you know what I mean, to talk about what we're gonna be reading today, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm excited about today, man.
Yeah, show that t-shirt, bruh. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, here we go.
You know what I mean?
Here we go. Hold up.
You found it. Word.
You know?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about the ladies today, talking about our wives, you know, and loving our wives well. So we tapping into this new plan called Loving Your Wife Well, a 7-day devotional by Matt Jacobson. We thought it was relevant. We thought it was absolutely important for us to elevate our wives and you know, also learn, teach, you know, and just grow. You know what I mean? I think that it's important for us to be as equipped as possible for our partners. You know what I mean? Especially as much as they elevate us and keep us on our toes on a regular basis. I think it's very important for us to do the same. So I'm really feeling this plan. So we're gonna tap into this. I know it's been a minute, so part of me just want to catch up. You know what I mean? Like with everybody, we all been in contact, right? We've been. Our relationship hasn't stopped because of doing life with the Word, because we are doing life with the Word. We still have been doing life with each other and our families, but we just haven't been live with it. So I'm so glad that we are back here, man, because you know, sometimes when people stop things, they never get it started again.
Right.
So I'm just excited that we've been
including their marriage, you know what I mean?
Ooh, you know? you about to start something already.
I know, right? Hey, look, I'm a little backed up, you know what I mean?
He already firing off. It's all cylinders.
I ain't even intentionally. That just came with the flow. I ain't even intended. Yeah.
Hey, look, I knew we get right back to it. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Look, if y'all want to follow along with this Bible plan, make sure y'all go to the YouVersion Bible app. You can go to your Google Play Store, App Store, and download it for free because it's a phenomenal app. We use it every single day. I use it personally. I actually use it with my children. They got phenomenal functions and features at your fingertips. Verses of the day, daily devotionals, Bible audio, and a phenomenal way to tap in with your children. They got these stories, right? It's like Instagram stories, but they're for children, and they help the children kind of get a really cool current day example of what the Word is for them right now. And I think it's just phenomenal for them to be able to relate and just tap in with the Word in a way where it's cool, it's fun. And it just really is interesting because sometimes I'm even tapping into the children's thing as well, because I know they have an adult side, but they have the children. So I love tapping in the morning with my nephew and as well as my daughter. So we about to tap into this thing, man. Loving your wife well. Oh, we got. I'm sorry. We got one more thing that we want. We got one more thing. We ain't been in the flow of this for a little bit, but we're just gonna tap into this.
Yeah, we're a little rusty.
Y'all. but look, here we go. And when we come back, we're gonna say prayer, and Brother O, we're gonna take it away with the devotional. Let's get it.
Hey,
He's just doing life.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's
Albie, I
all.
appreciate that, bro. That was fire. That was fire.
I had fun with it, especially doing the music part. That's just fun.
I know
Yeah.
the picture part. I know that wasn't a part of the.
Nah,
That
that's the
wasn't
hard
part of.
part.
You made it happen. You made it happen,
Yeah.
bro.
We
Yeah.
appreciate it, man.
We got that creativity gene.
Just trying to do my part. Trying to do my part.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. We back, bro. I feel amazing right now, man. I really, I'm so excited about this. All right, I ain't gonna hold us any longer because I know we got to about 6:30. So let's get it. Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, man, we just thank you. We just thank you for everything.
Yes.
Throughout this last 5 months, we have grown and tremendously, Lord. You've taken us through many different challenges and obstacles to help us build our character, Lord, to help us build our families, Lord, new additions and just growth in all kinds of ways, Lord. We just thank you for building us up and holding us up against these different things that we may have come across. But Lord, we know that you make ways out of no ways, and we just want to continue to do right by you, be as righteous as we possibly can. And when we fall, Lord, that we get right back on track.
Yes.
And as we tap into your word today, Lord, we just pray that somebody's blessed by the word, they're blessed by this devotional and just this fellowship, Lord. This is simply us doing life with your word, learning your wisdom and applying it to our lives so that we can be better every day and that we can share this gospel so that it can be a true blessing in somebody's life. I pray that this really permeates the hearts of every single person that is on here, Lord. As in our absence, Lord, many people have been asking for us to launch this back. I'm just praying that you're with us, Holy Spirit. You have free reign. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
A little nostalgic for you, bro. A little nostalgic for you, bro.
Nah, but you said your wisdom, give us your wisdom to apply what you say. And that's where I've been at for the last 5 months, man. Last 5 months, just constantly asking God for the wisdom on how to move, when to move, what to move in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's these, even though we've been off for the last couple months, it's been super productive.
Yeah, we've been on, we just been offline.
Yeah, you're right. And doing life is like the piece of the puzzle that kept me moving. So I will go back and watch old episodes and just reflect on some of the old plans we did and the times we shared and a lot of the wisdom that whether O dropped and you dropped, you know what I'm saying, and Nate dropped, So it's been good, man. I'm excited, man. I'm so excited to be back.
That's good, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah. This topic today is really brother, what you say is gonna give you some brownie points.
Yeah, I mean, you showing me and I'll be up. You got the T-shirt on. I mean,
yes, sir. I had to be
I'm a little jealous.
I mean?
You're supposed to send out the memo.
My wife bought me this, but I'd be sporting it like I bought it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was supposed to buy. Tell her she was supposed to buy 3 of them. She just gonna leave us hanging.
That's funny.
Oh man, no man, this is good. So we tapping in the devotional, loving your wife well. I'm excited about this, brother. Oh, let's take it away, my man.
Day 1, a breathtaking gift. When Lisa and I got married, I promised that I would cherish her, my bride, this breathtaking gift from God every day of my life. How great it would be to report that I have loved Lisa perfectly. I cannot. I've caused her tears, been unloving, insensitive, and downright sinful at times, but I can report to you that Lisa has been and is a cherished woman. Lisa knows that loving her is serious business with me. She is my priority because Jesus Christ made her my priority. Wow. and he expects to be obeyed, and he wants me to love her as he loves his bride. Jesus is the example for every Christian man to know how to truly cherish his wife. Wait a minute, Jesus isn't married, but he is or soon will be his bride, is the church. And as we read in Ephesians 5, Christian men are instructed to love their wives as Jesus loved his. You see, if you claim to be a Christian man, being the husband of a cherished woman just isn't optional. It is the call of God on your life to preach the gospel with power of your love for your wife, and expression to the world of how Jesus Christ loves his bride. If the church, wow. If I don't cherish Lisa, I'm walking in sin and I must change. The same is true of every married Christian man. He is sinning if he is not cherishing his wife. Wow. The best, richest marriages are enjoyed by couples of every age group who know a simple yet all too often forgotten truth. Great marriages are the result of husbands and wives making a lot of everyday choices that say, I love you rather than I love me. If you want an epic marriage worthy of the best poet, country western singer, playwright, novelist, or the Song of Solomon, then learn how to say, I love you through all the normal days of marriage you are given. Scripture says that when you love your wife, you are loving yourself, because according to God, the two of you are one single entity, and a truly cherished wife takes great pleasure in returning that love with interest. Ooh, I like that, with interest. What do you have to lose? When you have seen your wife respond positively to your affirmations of her, maybe even returning that love with interest. Wow.
I didn't think we were going to get our first bliggity on the first episode. I didn't think the first day back we was going to get smacked.
It's so much to unpack.
I know. I don't even know. I don't even know where to start, because I was on the beginning part where it said then learn how to say I love you through all the normal days of marriage you were given.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, you get caught up with just life, that a normal day would go by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't said I love you.
Yeah.
And it's something, because for me I've been, I grew up in a loving household, so I love you was used pretty often. But it's interesting how we can say we love you but don't show it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's important that it's like when you say cherishing, like I even looked up the definition, because we know what the definition is, but like to hear it, to hold or treat as dear, feel love for it, to care for it tenderly, nurture, to cling fondly, and to cherish as a memory.
Wow.
Like when's the last time you felt that for your wife? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When's the last time you've done that for your life? To hold or treat as dear, or to care for it tenderly.
Yeah. It's almost like the package is fragile. You ever see like the
Yeah.
You do a delivery and it say fragile on it, like, you know, you don't want to drop it. I mean, you hold it like it's like a precious, like you just, like it's delicate, you know what I mean? Like a newborn. You just, it's just very, you know, I don't want to say sensitive, but you have to be very cautious, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
unless you have that wisdom. If you got that wisdom, then you can flow in faith, because it's like you're pretty much sowing the right seed. But a lot of times when you operate ignorantly and you operate thinking that, oh, because I do this, this will happen, man, you way off, bruh. Like in marriage, 1 + 1 don't equal 2. Like you got this, like, like it ain't that simple. It's you know.
Yeah, well, it tells it to you right here, and I love this. It says, and truly a truly cherished wife takes great pleasure in returning that
Yeah.
love with interest. I know we've all experienced that before.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
what's
know we've all
Yeah,
experienced
it's
that
called Grown Man Gifts.
before.
nah? But you know what though?
It's not.
I find that women or wives they often love with interest, even when we don't deserve it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
it
Oh, yeah.
even and that's comparable to God and His love for us, or like how it says in the plan. But I can speak personally that even when I don't deserve that kind of love from Christina, she gives it anyway.
Yeah.
She gives it anyway. And if I'm being honest, like going back to the second paragraph, it says how great it would be to report that I have loved Lisa perfectly. I cannot. Now, obviously, we're not going to be perfect at it, but the next part says, I've caused tears, been
Right.
unloving, insensitive, and downright sinful at times. That to me that's the first bliggity of the year for me, because I
Mm.
think back on myself and my wife and our marriage, and all those three things. It makes me sad, honestly, the fact that I was like that and I didn't cherish her the way that I was supposed to, and I
Right.
was insensitive and unloving. And I could recall times where we would have arguments and I wouldn't even validate how she was feeling because I didn't think I did nothing wrong, so I would
Mm.
immediately be defensive. I would
Yeah.
immediately just
That's heavy.
immediately just jump down her throat and say, "Nah, you wrong. I'm right. I don't want to hear what you have to say."
Mm.
And it was wrong because God doesn't do us like that. So if we're
No.
Yeah.
called to love our wives as Christ loved us, then I have done a terrible job,
Right.
Mhm.
horrible,
Yeah.
horrible
Mhm.
job.
Yeah. I like how the scriptures say, it says, my people, my people don't perish for lack of money.
Mm,
My people
Mm.
don't perish because they black.
mm,
My people don't perish because they have both parents in their house. It say
Mhm.
my people perish for a lack of knowledge.
yeah,
And
Mhm.
just the title itself of loving your wife well,
yeah,
I have brought tears to Farron. I'm sure I made her feel like low, but I didn't know what loving her well meant,
mm,
which goes
mm,
to show that this is a lifetime journey.
yeah,
Yeah.
Even if you're paying the bills and you're traveling or whatever you're doing with exterior think that you think a man should do for a family, there's some internal things that our wives are battling with, and
yeah,
only us loving them well can have them things uprooted.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Mm.
And it's not that we intentionally are jerks, but when it says, when Lisa and I got married, I promised that I would cherish her, my bride, this breathtaking gift from God every day of my life. Who wouldn't? Like, what husband, unless you like an extreme opportunist, and just, but at the end of the day, if you are ignorant, it's impossible to love your wife well. And that takes time. There are certain things.
Yeah.
The reason why I, um, the foundation of my marriage, of how I operate, is my mindset is like I'm still getting to know her.
Mm,
Right.
I don't live
Right.
from that. Oh, this will work. Oh, I'll just do this. Oh, I'll do. No, I'm still getting to know her, and that's like my security. Because the moment I stop being a student,
mm,
Satan like, all right, watch this little. But even by me staying studious, it's still warfare.
yeah,
So I
Right.
just think that it says, what you say, I'll be the second prayer. How great would it be to report that I've loved Lisa perfectly? I cannot. You can't. But with God, all things are possible. You know what I mean? You just gotta live from that state of mind.
yeah. I agree. I agree.
Absolutely. You definitely gotta stay a student, man.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Uh, I mean, in every area of life, but in this particularly, I mean, you're dealing with another being, another person,
yeah,
that has different feelings and emotions and ways of life and background. And
Wired
if you're
differently.
not, yeah, if you're not learning about this person who you've committed to for the rest of your life,
yeah,
um, you at a disadvantage. And for me and my experience, I remember trying to do things without her.
mm,
Like, I mean, that was like the biggest, because I was so used to just moving by
moving, yeah,
myself, just
yeah,
moving, making a move that, like, I had to pump my brakes. And my wife was like, are you are you like doing this without me? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you
Yeah, that's
like
real talk.
you know what I mean? And that was a real question. You know, I'm just like, what you mean? And I had to, you know, pump my brakes for a time because I was literally making some decisions by myself.
Yeah.
And I realized how much it was like it was like throwing a monkey wrench in the gears. Like it was always stopping the
Oh yeah.
process of you know the family moving forward. And I was just like,
Right,
you
and
know
the
what?
process was causing dissension too, you know?
Absolutely. So for me, you know, really learning like Ecclesiastes 9 when it talks about and I don't think this is in the plan, but this is something that it was in one of the other plans that I was reading. But in the ESV it says Ecclesiastes 9:9 says, enjoy life with the wife whom you love all the days of your vein,
Mm-hmm.
life that he has given you under the sun, because that is your portion of life, and in your life, I mean, in your toil at which you toil under the sun. Whatever your hands find to do, do with it with your might. But there
Yeah.
is no work or thought or knowledge or wisdom or wisdom in Sheol to which you are going. And I just and then you know the message version goes a little bit deeper and talks about how your greatest reward on earth is your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's heavy. Wow.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Wow.
when you think about it, and you have a helpmate, somebody that you live with, somebody who learns you, somebody who
Mm.
like it says, anything that you add to her, she's going to give you that in interest.
Right.
It's a blessing to know that there's somebody here with you that is literally going to walk step by step with you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
us being examples, you know, us, you know, teaching our wives the word and
Yeah.
guiding them through this wisdom that God has given us. It's important for us to be on one accord. And ever since we have been, things have just been, I'm not saying they've been perfect, but they've
Yeah.
been smooth. You know,
Right. You
it's
can
been very
build.
simple. Because
Yeah.
when we deal with challenges, it's not like, all right, hold up now, what I gotta do? You know, all right, I should probably
Right.
nah, it's like, babe, this is what we dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I mean? Bringing everything up to her, she bringing everything up to me, and us talking and find a solution together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as we work with it together, things always work out for the good. You
Right.
know what I mean? So it's for any
Always, man.
husbands out there, or any gentlemen that are you know engaged.
Yeah.
Leave that unilateral decision making by home. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you cling to your wife, man, leave the selfishness. You know, leave
Yeah,
it to
you
the
gotta
side.
be in you gotta be intentional about that because you know most people would say they didn't see the good examples with their parents and stuff like that. They know the difference between right and wrong, but it's
Hmm.
interesting how they can leave home, get yoked with another person, and still operate like their parents. It's
Hmm.
almost like a it's weird. Like you knew it was wrong, you saw it wrong, but since you saw it practice, you have developed a muscle memory to execute, and you wonder why you're having the same results. And it's like, man, you know, so you really got to sit with yourself and say, you know what, like I gotta admit I'm acting like my dad. I gotta admit I'm acting like my mom because they are showing up and I am not them. And I didn't even want to marry my mom. I ain't even want to marry my dad. But it's funny how I'm attracted to the same, you know. So you really you really gotta Christ and be like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Let's move from Christ because apparently we have most people have not had a great example of what it's like to receive a legacy, have that mentorship, mother, father, mother, son, or whatever, and then execute. You know what I mean?
And I personally I don't take that for granted at all, man, because I was fortunate to have grown up with both my parents in the household. Me and one of my other friends, Jay, we were the only two that had both parents in the household. And I even as a kid, I never took it for granted because I always looked around like that, like my man's he ain't got, his dad ain't around, his dad ain't around, his dad ain't around, his dad. Nobody had a dad and or mom and dad. My
Yeah.
one boy had just his mom, but nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I never took it for granted. And I could look at it now, and I at my parents, and they about to celebrate 40 years of marriage
Praise God.
in September.
Praise
Mhm.
God. 40 years.
40 years. And it's crazy because I
They got me
remember
mad.
the ups and downs that I used to see that they would have, within their marriage, communication, emotional issues,
Yeah.
like obviously, financial issues and
But
stuff.
you know what? In defense to them, they may not have had a loving your wife well.
Mhm.
Like that statement alone.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what? Like I honestly, I would have to ask Farron, like, what is loving you well? Because we on a devotion, we rapping, we chopping it up, but I don't know until I go to her and come back Thursday and be like, yo, I found out what it is to love her. I never asked
Yeah,
that
yeah.
question.
I agree. It's crazy. Like I think about my life. Me and Christina been married almost 11 years, and I think about after reading this plan, I think about it, and I'm just like, I remember in times where we would battle, we would have arguments, and I would say, I didn't really get it. I would use this excuse. I didn't really have time to learn how to be a husband because when we got married, we already had Jason, and then the other 3 kids came after that. Like maybe we were a year into our marriage, so I would
But is
use the excuse.
that a truth or was it an excuse?
See, I used to think it was a I used to think it was a truth, but after reading this day one, I feel like it was an excuse because if my relationship with God was at all relevant at that time, I would have been able to see Christina for who she really was. No matter if I didn't learn how, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been perfect, but I would have been able to be caring. I would have been able to be loving. I would have been able to be more understanding. It would have allowed me to open up and really see her the way Christ sees me.
Yeah.
But since my relationship with
That's
God
good.
wasn't as relevant as it is now, I was unable to see her. And
Yeah.
the one thing God convicted me, he was like, yo, you asked for her. You asked. You
Yeah.
asked. You went to me and said, Lord, is this who you wanted me? Is this who you called, sent
Right.
for me to be with? Help me, my person
Yeah.
that is going to help me with everything that you've called me to do. And I asked God for that. And then I went and married her. And then I have the audacity
Yeah.
to mistreat what he gave
Well,
me.
that's a lot of times in marriage, we get the test before we're able to prepare for it. So, you get married, you have your idea,
Yeah.
whether you seen marriages, whether you saw it on TV or you got close to some of them and you say, you know what, this how I'm gonna do it. And it's like you are 100% wrong, bro. Like
Yeah.
you think like she be like, oh, don't touch me. You like, what you mean? This is what like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a rhythm that you just don't know until you like the test because it's rhythm. Like
Yeah.
we all know timing is everything.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
there are certain conversations that you know what, if I'm a morning person and my wife is not, I'm not just going like everything's easy. Because in
Yeah.
the morning I could just go. But it's
Yeah.
like her brain don't cut on to about 3 p.m. You see what I mean? So I can't
Yeah.
like timing is like you just can't come all the time with it. And it's just certain skills you learn on a course. And I think the main thing is stay teachable. Because what I love about what I was reading right here, what I love about this, it says you see, if you claim to be a Christian man, being the
Mm.
husband of a cherished woman just isn't optional.
Mhm.
It is the call of God on your life to preach the gospel with power, your love for your wife, and expression to the world of how Jesus Christ loves his bride, the church.
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
I don't cherish Lisa, I'm walking in sin and I must change. The
Mhm.
same is true for every married Christian man. He is sinning if he's not cherishing his wife.
That's
What I love
right.
about that is that it's not tick for tat. This is like, no, Albie,
Yeah.
no, Les, no, Alex. Like this ain't got nothing. If she ain't doing this, if she ain't doing this, she ain't. It's like, no, this is what you
Still-
state, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
almost like
Right.
we are a pastor of a congregation and we got one member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She may not be tithing.
Wow.
She may not be coming to church. She may not show up for rehearsal and stuff, but you still got to mount that podium
Yeah.
and be consistent in him And prayerfully, one day a light bulb will go off, and she'll come beside you, and that'll be your rib, that'll be your help, because she walks beside you and not behind you. So it's just one of those things where, what I would just read in that paragraph, you gotta stay the course, whether she ain't got her pom-poms or not. You still gotta stay the course. And I think some men, I think this culture is all about tick for tack. Well, she ain't doing that. Oh yeah, man, this and that and this and that, and it's just like,
that's true,
right?
That's definitely,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
yeah, that's when the selfishness kicks in, man. I'm so glad that part that you read is in this devotional, because I'm kind of reiterating what you said, but like you said, it's not optional. So when I'm in my feelings,
right,
when I'm in my feelings about this ain't happened, and this, she this, she that, whatever. Like we all flawed, we all fall short, we all have challenges, and no matter what, I have to show up and cherish her. No matter what, it doesn't matter how. Yeah, like it doesn't matter. And also, like, to preach the gospel with the power of your love for your wife and expression to the world, like to emphasize that part of it, sharing the gospel with her as well. I mean, I can't say that like there's pockets and times where I'm like really emphasizing it, and then there's times where I'm like, all right, I'm just kind of let her hear from when we go to church. You know what I'm saying? Because it may not come off, it may not come off, as well when I may be sharing it. But what that means is I have to get into my word more and more and more, so that I'm so familiar with this wisdom that at any given moment I can share something with her that relates to something that she may be dealing with, or something that she fully can understand.
That's
so it's
pastoring your wife. That right
absolutely.
there, that's
Absolutely.
the ingredient. That is
Absolutely.
pastoring your wife. Because for me, I think it's not bad. It's not sin for me to have like a prayer life or devotion life or something like that and not include her in it. And there are some husbands that do that and be like, yo, why you ain't reading? Why you ain't praying? Why? No, bro. Bring her with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like buy her a book. Buy her a book or if you whatever.
So that was, and that's interesting because, and that's what I was talking about before when I was kind of doing things independently, because I'm in it. You know what I mean? But a lot of times when I'm in it pertaining to what I'm challenged with, or what I'm, you know what I mean, or what I need. And then I'm sharing with her, but it may not be hitting because it's not something that she may be dealing with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But they incubate though.
No. Absolutely.
They hear us.
Absolutely hear us. Absolutely. And definitely she takes it in. But I'm saying from my studying, she should be in my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Intentionally, as I'm looking up for whatever it is I should be looking up for whatever you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And bringing to her what it is that what saith the Lord, you know what I mean? Concerning the challenges or whatever she can relate to for the most part.
That for I don't know if I could speak for a majority of men, but that could be challenging because sometimes we like to hide what we're dealing with from our wives.
Yeah,
that's trained behavior, though. That's trained behavior.
Yeah, some of us lack that that being vulnerable because you don't want to show weakness. I dealt with that for a little while, not for a long time. She broke that barrier down real quick. Christina, she's like, look, bro, if we gonna do this,
in marriage, you have to. In marriage, you have to. Like, I can go out to work, dominate, whatever, score 50 points, make the bacon, do all that. But when I come home, I gotta take that cape off.
Yeah, that's it.
Roll them sleeves up, take out the trash,
They
Babe,
crazy.
do you need anything? Like you can't come home if you are a director or supervisor or manager at work. When you come home, all that the worst thing you could do is be dominating out there and come home thinking you're gonna get the same energy. Like, no. Home is the birthplace. Home is training ground. Home is what equips you to go out there. Cats be trying to come home with their title. Well, I'm a manager. I direct people at work. I need to come home. No. When you come home, you take that ego off.
Yeah.
You put that toilet seat down. You know what I mean? You do everything, refill the toilet paper. And when you leave that room, cut the light off in that room. Like when you come home, And I don't think people, because we spend so much time at work and we engage in certain relationships at work, we try to come home with that same energy. Now, when you get home and you pull up, park your car, say a little prayer, do a deep breath, strip yourself and come in, daddy's home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think to piggyback what you said, a lot of women have bought into that. There are women who would say, I don't want no weak man and blah, 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 and this and that. But yet most of them want that vulnerable side. And men haven't been trained and conditioned to show that type of empathy and vulnerable side, because that ain't how you want me. You want me because you saw me, you thought I was attractive. Oh, I guess I had a job, I paid for this, I did all that. And none of that was like the vulnerability side. So when most people get married and the women desire that, the brother like, I ain't use all that to get you. You ain't fall in love with my vulnerability. Now you want it. And where unfortunately I've talked to a lot of women who've got caught up in affairs and all like that. And it was all because they saw a little emotional side from a clown. And she bit on the forbidden fruit. And the dude ain't care, but she saw an area of him that she wished the man had. But I think ultimately it's just a fine balance of men not knowing. And you got to be able to just be like, look, man, you made me feel little right there.
Yeah.
And most men can't say that to their lady, because it's almost like, I got to keep this image up. You be like, no, you hurt me right there. You made me feel little.
Yeah.
Well,
people want the vulnerability side when it comes to them love chick flicks movies, you know what I mean? But it's like, no, I'm being vulnerable. Like, I think that was a low blow. That was a low blow.
Like what John Legend say, all of me loves all of you, like all of you, every aspect, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the vulnerability, the strength, the courage, the sadness, like all of that. It comes with the entire package, and us as men got to understand that.
Because
program like
as
that.
a man, it's challenging to believe that vulnerability is strength. It seemed like weakness,
Nah, that's real.
Vulnerability is strength, man. I mean, I mean,
then you got men going into relationships with their guards up because they don't want to get hurt. You know what I mean? So they don't want to show that side because they're like, I did it one time and I got burned, so I don't want to do it again. That's love. That's what love is.
Yeah. Well, I think like I was reading this. What it say? Let me see. It says, Scripture says that when you love your wife, you are loving yourself. And that first sentence, I just was like, how do I love me? Because what if I'm loving me wrong and I'm thinking I'm doing this for me and I'm loving me, because what I define what loving me is, and then I'm trying to do it on her and she, you know what I mean? Like, it said, because according to God, the two of you are one single entity, and a truly cherished wife takes great pleasure in returning that love with interest. Now, I do agree with that. If I do 2-3 things for Farron, I'm getting back huge. Like, I give little, she get back more. So that this person who wrote that, he ain't lying.
Nah, not at all.
He ain't lying, because they do give back. And I want to say, what do you have to lose? I think that's where the pride, I think that's where the trauma, I think that's where the vulnerability. Because when I say, what do you have to lose? It's like, I got to lose this image.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, what do you got to lose? Like, if you don't, what Miles Monroe say? Whatever you mismanage, you lose.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just like, what do you got to lose, bruh? You got a lot to lose.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose a lot. But scripture say that when you love your wife, you are loving yourself. It's like, I guess when I look at Christina, or when I look at Tasha, I look at Tamara, I could be like, yeah, I could tell Les love him. I could tell Albie loves him. You know what I mean? Because I've seen some beat up, broken down wives, bro. Like I've seen some wives like, dude, why do you even accept his hand in marriage?
Yeah.
And granted, that's bad, kind of bad what I said, because there's always hope. You know, a lot of times people come into your life at a particular chapter and they think that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not cool. But I have seen some stuff where it's like, and y'all been at this for a decade, man. And you know, you just hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because there are people who are been wrong and betrayed and stuff like that, and they will not divorce, and they won't make adjustments. So you just,
Right.
you
Right.
just, you know, you
Right.
just grieve for them. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you
It's
ain't gonna divorce, and you also ain't gonna make no adjustments. Like, yeah, I know your husband doing that, I know your wife doing that, but what are you doing? Oh man, you know, and it's like, oh, okay.
it's interesting how in the beginning of, you know, a relationship or marriage, uh, you know, when you're getting engaged, things like that, things are just all it's perfect, right? Everything is peachy, and as soon as you deal with a challenge, you're not willing to give the same kind of effort
Mm.
that you did to get married to
Yep.
stay married.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you go through all like, and it's interesting when even when you set up the wedding, you know, those that go with the big weddings, there's a lot happening. You gotta get this and that, and it's stressful and all this stuff, and you do all of that for this one day. But then when you get married and something, a challenge smaller than that comes up in your marriage, and you're ready to give up,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
you was willing to give all that effort to build this for this one day.
Yeah.
After that, same kind of effort isn't given into the marriage, and I think we need to reflect on that
Yeah. I
and
agree.
look at the arrangement, the agreement, the bond that we made
Yeah.
in the
The
beginning,
commitment.
so that yeah, so that we can you know, just remember. And I know it's not always easy to remember or to go back and look at things when you're dealing with something right, you know, right on. But it's just something that I do at times and reflect
Yeah.
on
yeah,
different moments, and it helps me to, you know, even bring up different things that we, you know, we we used to do. You know what I mean? I'll look at some pictures and be like, dang, we ain't done this in a minute. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let
Yeah.
me schedule this. You know, let me do this. Let me do that. You know, let me bring this up,
Those
and
things happen.
it
but
really
yeah,
helps.
that's something I've heard people say, and I never really had nobody break it down. But I would ask y'all the question. There's a word that exists, and they say complacency, or they say, oh, he got comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know, I was always curious of that, because if a guy pursues a girl and he's interested in her, and they go to comedy show, they go to plays, they go to dinner, they go on excursions. I mean, they're courting, they're mingling outside of the home. I don't know, let's just say 90 days. I just give it 90 days. Some people is less than a month. And then they cross over into that intimacy phase, whether you want to call it sex, fornication, etc. You know, and she would say, "Oh, he got comfortable," and a part of me just think like, it has to be a mutual thing because you're on together. So, did you get comfortable? Did you stop saying, "Hey, why don't we go?"
Mm.
Or can we go?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
remember how we?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're silent,
Yeah.
but yet you still coming over the crib, staying the night, or whatever y'all doing, what y'all do. Like, can you say he got comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you stop saying stuff? Well, if I'm honest with you, he would take me out. He would do this. He would do this. So he stopped. My thing was, why'd you stop your voice? Well, I
Yeah.
never had a voice because he initiated. Well, won't you start talking then?
Yeah. That's it.
You know, so I hear the word comfort or he got complacent, but it's like, well, you got quiet. Now
Yeah.
he started, you know, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hooked up with a girl. She got a couple kids. I bought the kids. I mean, we used to go out. We used to hang out. She used to do the babysitting thing. Now I'm just over the crib. We doing what we do. And I'm like, well, how y'all doing, man? It's just, I don't know. It's like she got comfortable. She started losing herself and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, bro, but did you? So, like,
so no
you
communication.
get quiet because obviously you kept going over there. You kept putting your feet up. So I just think when I hear, well, he got comfortable, or he got complacent, she got comfortable, she got complacent. Like, so somebody got quiet because it takes two. And I always just wonder with that if y'all could touch on that. I just, if y'all understood what I meant,
I understand.
No, I understand.
Yeah, you hear people complaining, but yet you're like, well, it takes two.
Yeah, I think that on one side, it's like you showed me a side of you that I really, really liked, and then you just stopped, and then that's like it's a lack of communication, because like you said, why'd you stop why didn't you speak up, why didn't you say that, or even show that like you said, you got comfortable. So at first, doing this thing, taking you out or doing all these different things or whatever, you liked it, I initiated it, but then I kind of slowed down with it, you didn't speak up. So like, where's our communication at? How do I know that you still enjoy doing them things if you don't tell me, if you don't say anything?
Because effective communication is huge, because there's a guy, I remember watching this guy, it was like he used to buy his wife flowers. She never liked them, but she never said nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So one day she was like, I don't like flowers. He like, now you tell me.
Oh, I think that was on the show. So I think
nah, this was my man Avi Hillier, and she was like, I don't like flowers, I like diamonds. He was like, give me some time.
Yeah.
But he never knew his wife liked jewelry like that.
Yeah,
like she's into earrings, and she's into that, and he bringing home flowers, putting them up. Flowers look nice. Then one day they got in an argument. Why you keep buying me flowers?
Yeah.
So I just think I don't know, Albie, if it's effective communication or effective listening. I don't know.
I think it's that's what communication is: listening and then also being able to effectively share what's on your mind as well, or what's on your heart. I think we got to get out of the whole you got to read my mind phase. Like for both man and woman, like for both husband and wife, because I think sometimes that comfort level comes when you're like, okay, we've been through this phase, like you said, we've been through the phase of us going out and all this, being intimate, whatever. Now you know what I like. Now you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you know what I like, so I want you to figure it out. You know what I mean? I want you to just do it without me having to say it, because that shows me that you was really paying attention. That shows me that you really know me. That shows that you really
you took the time,
are intimate, right? Yeah. And I think, so honestly, I think that is good, but I don't think it's fair either.
Yeah.
And I'll explain. I think that is good when you do remember and you do those things, and that's great on both sides. But then when you hold somebody to the fire and they don't do it, but you never say anything, and then you're ready on the verge of divorce because you just held a word, because you held back from something that all you had to do is just say it, and I would have just did. You know what I mean?
Well, I think in defense of women, because I talk to women, one of the bad habits that they do is like, well, if I couldn't even ask you to close the refrigerator door, I definitely can't ask you when can we go on why we ain't been on a date in a while. Like, they'll take a random act that we just been reluctant to do or kind of shun them. Okay. And they'll take that and say, well, he ain't do that. How I'm going to ask him to do that? And that's detrimental to them. Yeah. That, and it's unfortunate, that those things happen. But I think the temperance and the patience that we have to exercise is that me, you, Albie, Nate, all of us, we can just talk and we could be straight shooters. But at times when my wife is talking, it's like I gotta read through the riddle. And I gotta be there. And then I gotta ask and say, so when you said that, did you mean that? She'd be like, no. And I'd be like, oh, what did you mean? And she'll say another riddle. And I'm like, all right, okay. And you just gotta keep, because other than that, You know, I could come home from work and be like, yo, why ain't you naked? You know, that's just straight. But you know, with her, it's like this thing is like how they say it, like I'm the microwave, she's the crock pot.
Mhm.
But there are moments where she's the microwave, I'm the crock pot, but I don't know how did I tap in. I didn't even like I may have done something and it triggered something. And then you know, we on to the next, and I'm like, man, how do you like get in that kind of rhythm? It takes time, man. You know what I mean? It takes time. And Albert, you figure you what 11 years in, and you can learn something brand new this afternoon.
Yeah.
But yet you got to take it. You better incubate it. Don't go execute and just be like, okay, let me keep this in my hard drive because you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think I think we live in this fast society where we don't just take the time to just hear each other. You know.
Yeah, I would agree, definitely.
Yeah.
Agree.
No, that's really the problem. We're not really taking the time because we so busy with everything else. And I think the pandemic kind of helped people slow down a little bit
Yeah.
and to see what is, you know, what is essential. And I think families are doing a little bit more together now, more now than ever before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard the pandemic exposed some families, like their relationships. You know,
I mean,
people were at each other's neck, and it just shows you, like, man, I guess there were a lot of unions that were just what would you call them, roommates? You know, it's just like, wow, you know, I don't even know how to talk to you all day, every day. I was talking to a guy that, you know, some people go through empty nesters, like when it's just you and your spouse at home, and it's like you look at each other like y'all was so regimented and kids work. Then what do? Like you don't make dinner every night because the kids ain't home, and you're like, well, did you eat? No, I ain't eat. Or someone come home with food and forgot about you, and you just be like, well, man, are we what happened? Like,
yeah.
you know. But I think when a gentleman told me that, you know, at the time of the heart of the pandemic, you know, I still, you know, we weren't married, so I don't know what it's like to people that have these jobs and then you're home every day with each other. You know, that's like I heard a lot of people got exposed. You know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm
Yeah,
looking forward.
but I think it's good though. I mean, I think you should be. I think the things that are not good should be exposed. That's the only way you can get to the root of something and address it. And I mean, really, the problem comes when you're not willing to address it, right? I mean, in most cases, it doesn't come to the surface. Most people just keep it buried and they just end it.
Man,
And then when you end it, you got all these reasons, like all that stuff that was buried now comes to the surface. And this is what you hold up as your brand. Like, this is why I don't deal with this kind of person because of this and that. But you never shared it. It was just a root thing that you never shared in the marriage. So now it becomes something that
that's
you know
that vulnerability.
You use as a
That's that vulnerability that you gotta exercise.
Yeah, but you use it to discriminate though.
Right.
Like you use it to discriminate. Oh, I ain't dealing with this person because of this, and that. And it's like, yo, you could be potentially missing out on something because of, you know, this one thing that all you had to do is just open your mouth up about. So it's important that we communicate, and loving your wife well means it means that, like, when we say women are incubators, my wife is such an incubator, man. Like I can share something with her and I can just see the gears turning in her. I can just see it.
Yeah.
And then I just start seeing it. Like, and you know what I mean? How it's just happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll just go, my goodness, I gotta be careful what I say. I gotta be careful what I say at times. You know what I mean? Because I'll be completely transparent about one of the things that's happening right here in my household. So we've had a mentorship program for about 7 years, and then we kind of, you know, we've had a family, and we built the family. At the time, only had one child, and we had 2, 3, 4, and it's just like, man, you know, it's a lot to manage at this time. So we kind of tapered off, but we always knew we wanted to get back to it. So my wife, when she came home, she just like, babe, remember you talking about, getting this thing started again? I'm like, I'm gonna just do it. So she just started doing it. She just started doing it, and I'm just like, I'm sitting here. I've been on the, I've been comfortable. Does that make sense? Like I've been comfortable. I've been out. I've been speaking. I've been in the schools, but like I haven't had my own nonprofit mentorship program in a minute. So I'm just like, oh, hold up, pump your brakes, give me a second to, you know what I mean? Like what are you waiting for though?
Wow.
Like, Les, what are you waiting for? Who you are, is what this thing is about. So like, why? What are you waiting for? And she just like, she putting up flyers, she's sending it to people, she calling people, folks calling me like, yo, bro, I'm so excited you putting this together. I'm just like,
yeah, she hit me up.
Like she is literally pushing me out of my comfort zone. And I was just like, man.
You know what's so crazy, Albie? You know what's so crazy?
I did this.
This is what Les prayed for.
It is. Yeah. It is. It is. It really is. And that's a beautiful thing about it. That like you said, loving your wife, right? She'll return it with interest. The
I think the renewing our mind,
everything he's doing.
Renewing your mind is vital. No, renewing your mind is vital. Like,
oh yeah,
the thing says, this says, day one, a breathtaking gift.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Every day.
Before I even exchange vows with Farron, like let's just say that morning, if someone would have said, "What's a breathtaking gift?" I would not have said Farron. So it just goes to show you how you got to stay in school, stay educated, like stay in practice mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because when you think of a breathtaking gift, like something to be like, 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 breathtaking. Like, you ever had those gifts where, I see it on TV where someone pull up with a bow on a car and they just faint. Oh, they just, they just faint. Or you see the dude that knock on the door and they had the big check and the people just faint. Oh, breathtaking. They wake up in the hospital. Was it true? Was it a dream? No, it's true. You're rich. But to know that your spouse, the one that's going to help you,
so to be able to see her like that,
because most men don't think they need help. And it's like,
you tripping.
You behind the 8 ball, bro,
Man, I
love the 8 ball.
Yeah, I love.
I can tell. I see the T-shirt. I'm jealous.
Oh, man, I love my It's, since day one, but like, it's interesting how how it says, in Ephesians 5:28, he who loves his wife loves himself.
So
when you I'm trying to say that I'm not even trying to say it politically, right? I'm just trying to express it the way that's on my heart. All right, so
she's a reflection.
Absolutely, she's a reflection. But when you're in a position where you don't really love yourself, or you don't really even know what that means, man, it affects everybody, yo.
Yeah.
It affects everybody in your household.
That's true.
I like, even coming out this shell, I would say, I don't even know what to call it, but getting back out there and doing what it is that I'm doing. I was at home for a minute, you know what I mean? Like for a minute, and to be back out there like that, it just shows how much work I actually did. You know what I mean? Like how much work I really did to get back to loving myself unconditionally, and then seeing the results of that throughout my family, throughout my children, throughout my wife. You know what I mean? Just seeing that.
That's good.
And then just being vulnerable enough to let them know, like, yo, dad and your husband, your husband is I'm in a place where I'm growing into this next level. Like I'm getting to this next level, but it's been challenging. because
Right.
it's literally stripping me away of all of who I used to be, and it's
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable. So there's
Yeah.
some things and there's some work that I have to do, that it's not like an everyday normal kind of work. You know what I mean? It's not an everyday normal kind of work. Like I'm actually doing some real intrinsic, work that I believe when you do this kind of work and you working on yourself and you working on them different triggers and different things that you've been challenged with, different trauma that you've experienced over the years, and you never deal with it, but then you start to really deal with
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing,
Yeah.
but in that time it could be challenging because you may not
That's
just
the
get it right
fragile.
up. Yeah,
That's where
man.
it's fragile. That's where it's delicate. That's where most people break up because
Yeah,
at the
man.
genesis of what we all do is the law of attraction. Oh, I think she cute. She think I'm cute. It's a personality thing. Oh man, I like her temperament. Oh man, she like the kids. She ain't, like you get to know, you get to learn all these things that's depositing, good things in you.
Yeah.
And you don't think about the hardship, the trauma, the vulnerability, and all like that. That ain't even in the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
build this whole, checklist, not even checklist. You have this knowing,
Yeah.
and then you execute, and y'all dwell, y'all go on a date, y'all do, y'all do y'all thing. But it's just like what you said, Les. There's going to come a time, something's going to happen where it's like, oh, I ain't cute now, you know what, my breath may be off, or she got in a car and that thing was smelling like Jamaica, like
Yeah.
they really get in your life to the point where it's like, no, you was in my life, you was on the outskirt, you was an idea, you was a feeling, but when someone start getting engrafted and into, you're like, you
Yeah.
get, and it don't start that way.
Nah.
So it's best to start that way, expose yourself so they can know what you're dealing with. Because ain't nobody gonna really keep it 100. If I like you and I'm trying to get to know you, I ain't gonna keep it 100. And that's been trained. So once you get married, it's like, man, you can't hide. It's like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah.
And that's why
You
secrets
see
are
it.
so devastating.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me earlier on, I didn't have a lot of adversity. I didn't have a lot of that. I didn't. Things were pretty smooth, pretty smooth for me.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
right.
as
When
I,
you don't
I got,
have adversity, you think it's always gonna be like this. So you're like,
yeah, man, like
why read a
for
book?
real.
Why
And
sit with a
then,
counselor? Why get a mentor? Like,
right, but
But we
when
change constantly. We constantly
right,
growing. We're constantly evolving.
and we make the
think life
we
forces
make
us
those
to do it.
choices though. We make the decisions that create the adversity in our lives.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of times, I'm not saying we don't go through challenges naturally, as you're growing, but there's certain decisions that we make that we create the adversity in our lives. And I did that in like, you know, I don't know, 19, 20,
Yeah.
and 29, 30, 30. Like I am dealing with and working with the adversity that I caused in my
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, this joint just
Yeah,
hit. Like I'm trying to
yeah,
go to this next level and like, why
Yeah.
does what is going on with me? And I thank God for my wife because in that time she was just like I'm there, like hold my hand, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And encouraging me and pushing me at the same time and
yeah.
just like, babe, you great. Like
That's
Yeah.
awesome,
just you
man.
know what I mean? Just like every day, just show up. You
Yeah.
like
That's
you
awesome,
are who
man.
you are.
What's a blessing is,
That's a blessing.
the fact that, like you just said, Les, with the adversity that we kind of bring onto ourselves, I was able to like realize that, and it took time to understand that as a husband and a father, that the decisions that I made didn't just affect me, but they affected everyone in my household. Because before I
Mhm.
was married, the decisions that I made really just affected me, maybe my
Yeah,
family a little bit, but mostly me. But as a husband, it trickles down, as a father, it trickles down from the top all the way down to the bottom. So, and Christina actually helped me to understand that, helped me realize that, like, look, the things that you're doing, even now, like today, like I'll go to make like some video content or something. Like, all right, like watch what you say, because what you say don't just affect you, it affects everybody, or
Right.
anything that I do. But it's a good thing to have somebody to bounce ideas off of, to you know, confirm the things that you're dealing with, to help you understand, just kind of really basically understand who you are as a person, because our
Yeah.
wives know so much more about
Yeah, Christina has your best interests, and I
yeah,
think
yeah,
there are some husbands that be like, "Oh, here she go. Oh, I can't do nothing," or
yeah,
you know, and it's, you know,
yeah,
I just think that's not fair to put a muzzle on your spouse. You
yeah.
know,
I agree.
and some wives are more stern than others. You know, and you know, I personally think, you know, men won't agree. I think men are more sensitive than women. I think we can be real wimpy and cowardly, and you know, and just we can just be real corny and bougie at times. Where women, you know, I think they have thicker skin. That's just me personally.
Mm.
I met some guys that I'm like, man, you acting like you acting like a girl. Yeah, you ain't even gay.
You
Like you,
soft.
like
It's
yeah, it's like dog. Like, and you know, but
soft.
I'm a guy, so I kind of get it. I do get it when
Yeah,
dudes be in their feelings, you know, and
that's true. That's true.
but but you know, Christina got your best interests, and
Yes.
you know, she's going to say things, and I think that when you listen and you adhere, I think that's loving her well. This title, you know, I think that's like, well, you know,
That's good.
because I think anybody feels good if they feel heard, you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
yeah, this was good, man. I'm looking forward to the rest of the 7-day plan. Um, I wrote this down. I wrote down what you said. My wife has my best interest.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And I need to have hers.
and I
Yeah,
need to have hers. Yeah, that's it, man.
yeah.
It's I pray, you know what I mean? I'm praying
I mean, we can
that
agree that they
God,
have they upgraded us, you know.
yeah, I'm praying that there's men out there that hear this and just,
Oh, there
I
are.
just pray that it just peak. I just pray that it piques their interest enough to, you know, to
Tap in a little bit.
surrender um their unilateral decision making, their selfishness, the, you know, their
Yeah.
non-effective listening, like whatever it is that they're dealing with, or it may be, you know, some adversity or some challenges that you may be dealing with, or that you um are holding on to, but you're actually not working on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just praying that you do the work so that you can really take advantage of the breathtaking gift that you have. Like really take advantage of what you have, because a lot of times, like, I I've been in this entrepreneurship journey for some time, and we have some, you know, some success, and I've had some duds. And the thing about it is, a lot of times we like, yo, man, I want to build this team, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. It's like, yo, you got a team right in your own household, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You have the perfect team because they know you, right? Like, they know you.
Yeah.
And the fact that me and my wife are in a position now, I was praying for this, that me and her can work together and build something
Yeah.
that, you
Yeah.
know, we could just build together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm longing for
Not
that
just a,
too. For me and my
yeah,
wife to put our hands on something, you know what I mean? Even though we
oh
have it,
man,
I'm
it's,
talking about on the economical state, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, man. She making this thing happen, bro. And I
But
who
I
am I
think
to sit
let's,
back and
how
not
can I say this?
fulfill, who am I not to put my best foot forward when she putting hers?
Yeah, she's the breathtaking gift. I
Yeah.
think if anything I want men to get out of this is that, cause see, I've been married before. You see what I mean?
Right.
So I have a whole different view from y'all too.
Yeah.
I know it's like the try, execute, fail, try, execute, fail, try, execute, fail. Get to the Garden of Gethsemane, sweat, blood, and you know, like I know what that's like, and I'm so thankful I got a second chance at love, because most men who I've met, I ain't never married again. I wish I would give a girl my time. Man, I got something for them, and it ain't, because they didn't take the time to even, I don't know, it's just hurt. I can't even articulate. You just hurt and stuff like that. And if anything, I will encourage a guy, if a husband is listening, is that it ain't even about you. It's about you and your vertical relationship. You and your vertical relationship. She may not have a pom-pom. She may not throw on the elegant outfit. She may not smell good. She may not do all what you saw at the law of attraction, but you still got to be that pastor and mount that podium.
Yeah.
Like, and we have been trained and conditioned. Well, you get out the first grade, you go to the second grade, you get a job, become supervisor, become manager, whatever, business owner. We've been, everything's the next step instead of like, yo, chill and do what you have to do. Even if it's quiet, stay that course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think some people like, I ain't wasting. What they say, I'm throwing my pearls to swine. She don't respect.
But he gonna hold us accountable though. He said he is sinning if he is not cherishing his wife.
Yeah.
Regardless how you feel, regardless of what you doing.
The problem with that, far as a human perspective, is that God is so rich in mercy, like that.
Yeah, I know.
The penalty don't come like that. You know what I mean?
No, that's so. Yo, I'm thankful for when I
use it as an excuse. They're using
but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But a lot of us use it like we maxed out.
Yeah.
Or I can't even say max out because there's no
we know what you meant.
There's no
limit to it, but it's habitual.
It's just like when you gonna do it right though. Because like for me, I got this compass, I have this compass. I'm looking for the right way.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the right way. You know what I mean? If I'm off, I know I'm off and I'm looking for the right way. It might take me a minute to get there.
Yeah.
It may take me a minute to get there, but I'm looking for the right way. And when I find it, I'm in the pocket. Mm-hmm. I'm in the pocket and I'm staying there until I need to change. You know what I mean? So I need to find the next right thing. But I think we got to kind of change our mindset, like you said, to being here with it.
I'm thinking about stop. I'm thinking about stop saying change our mindset. I think it's a heart issue, man. I think it's something internally, like we need like heart surgery. Like Jesus need to just grab it and like squeeze, like get them blotches off, and like, you know what I mean? You know, like when the scriptures say, "As a man thinketh, so is he." I think that starts here. You know, I think it's I think the mental part is it, but I think people just have a heart issue, man. Because for some positions people hold, man, that's a heart thing. I think racism is a heart
thing. It does,
thing.
but it starts with the mindset, though. You have to be.
Well, I think they got some type of relationship. They got something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole point of it is to get to the heart, because once the heart is changed, everything changed. But the reality is
they got some type of. They got a pipeline. They got a vein or something. Something.
Oh yeah.
Something need to be snipped.
Absolutely. I mean,
oh man,
I just pray that, just holding men accountable, that we just do the work, man.
Yeah.
Just do the work. I know it's uncomfortable at times. Look, I've been through it, man. I know, like I've been through it, but I mean, I'm telling you, man, when you can really lay down,
this plan is a good way to start.
Yeah, it is. But I'm just saying, like when you lay down, like even with your relationship with God, when you surrender, right, you can lean on Him and He just, boom, He order your steps.
Yeah.
It's really the same thing with your wife. Like when you lay down your agenda and you just talk to her about what's going on with you, she will help order them jump. Like instinctively, that's just who they are.
Perspective.
And things will move smoothly in your household, so that when y'all both step out there with all the foolishness, y'all are on the same page. You're already on the same page. And when y'all come back home, like you said, you let that ego stuff off.
Take the cape off.
You take the cape off. You come in the house, because that should be your place of rest.
I I think being kind is important too, because society has done a great job of like saying the word help is like a demotion. And I think women, it's like a negative connotation to the word help, like she's second class, like she's below us. And I just think us being kind and that word the definition you were saying earlier, far as cherish, I think that helps mold them. It's like, I think God gave us a wife, which is a breathtaking gift, but they're also clay. You know what I mean? He gave us clay. And I think the more we're kind, we're able to mold her into the image of us because she's a reflection of us loving her. And ultimately, she's part of the Godhead, like it's God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, less than Tasha. So we don't want to break that order. You know what I mean? So God forbid we lose less. At least she know to look to the King and not look to whatever. You see what I mean?
That's good.
Like that, just that divine umbrella. You know what I mean? And I just think kindness goes a long way.
That's good.
Absolutely. It all goes down to, my wife always say, just treat other people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah. Well,
I guess we went way over, huh?
One was a success.
Yeah, we did. It was
almost my clock says 6:58.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Nah, this was good. Well, I mean, look, we back.
Oh yeah.
We back, man. So we'll see everybody Thursday at 5:30 a.m.
Wake up.
Look, we back at it. I know, right? We got to get everybody that was on before back on.
It's a sacrifice, but it's worth it.
Yeah, where's the girl that used to make fun of you, Abby? What was her name?
Sharon was watching. She was on.
Oh, she is? Okay.
Sharon was on. Shout out to Sharon. Shout out. My aunt was on. My aunt was on from Pittsburgh. Appreciate you tapping in. My aunt Geraldine. Stangy.
We back.
Yeah. No, this is exciting to be back. I mean, look, it's been many people that, I mean, I know you guys, shared it, but many people that was like, yo, man, I really got this from that. I really appreciate y'all doing this on a regular basis. Like, it really helped me. And I'm just like, man, I didn't realize how it was helping, other people. And even those in my own household, like just seeing me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, loving your wife. Well, I mean, my wife says she missed it. Like she, it was, she learned a lot from it. And I had a coworker that said to me last Friday, like, "Yo, when y'all getting back on?" And I scratched my head, like, "Man, we ain't been on this so long." But it's like, it's good to know that people identify you of what you used to do. And it's like, you know what, we coming back.
Yeah,
they'll know you by your fruits, man.
Oh, so that's yeah. So
well,
I have
5 months ain't that long either, though, man. 5 months ain't that long.
Nah,
it's not that.
All right, get locked up then. Get locked up.
Yeah,
get locked up. Hey, you know what? It's only 5 months. Yeah, you be good. Yeah, get locked up then. Yeah.
This guy, bro.
He's hilarious, bro.
It ain't long. All right, yeah.
On that note,
and you had knee surgery. You had knee surgery. Oh yeah, you know what, Les? You be doing jumping jacks soon. Yeah.
Yo, you are hilarious, bro.
I mean, I'll be making plain. 5 months ain't a long time. All right.
Oh man.
Let me move in and be all in your fridge. Like, yo. You come home, see me on your couch. You like, oh, yeah, 5 months ain't. Yeah, 5 months.
Yeah.
Man, that's funny, bro.
And on that note,
hey,
love y'all, man.
Love y'all, man. I'll see y'all Thursday.
Great day, everybody.
Peace.
All right, guys. Love y'all.
Love you too, man. Peace.